The United States is a vast nation of 50 states, each with its own unique history and identity. The country's foundation is rooted in revolution, independence, and a constitution that shaped modern democracy. Indigenous tribes have lived here for thousands of years, shaping traditions that continue to inspire today. The United States is home to immigrants from over 200 countries, creating a melting pot of cultures. Major movements for civil rights, labor, and equality have unfolded across this land, transforming global history. Its diverse landscapes range from towering mountains and vast deserts to bustling cities and serene coastlines. Innovations born here, from flight to the internet, have revolutionized the way the world lives and connects. The U.S. celebrates cultural expression through art, music, and literature that captivate global audiences. Its history of resilience and progress reflects a spirit of exploration, creativity, and boundless opportunity. Get ready to journey through a land of diversity and stories where every state has something unforgettable to share. California became a state in 1850 after the gold rush transformed it into a hub of economic opportunity. The state's history includes deep Native American roots, with tribes like the Chumash thriving for thousands of years. California played a key role in the film industry's rise, earning it the nickname, the entertainment capital of the world. The state was a significant battleground for civil rights movements, including farmworker rights led by Cesar Chavez. Diversity is a hallmark of California, with over 200 languages spoken and a vibrant immigrant population. California's Silicon Valley revolutionized technology, making it a global leader in innovation and entrepreneurship. The state's landscape inspired the American environmental movement, led by figures like John Muir. California's history of earthquakes shaped its infrastructure, policies, and resilience over the decades. The state's progressive policies often set trends for the rest of the United States in education and energy. California embodies a unique blend of history, diversity, and innovation, making it a cultural powerhouse. New York was originally a Dutch colony called New Amsterdam before becoming an English territory in 1664. The state's history is intertwined with immigration, serving as the entry point for millions at Ellis Island. New York was pivotal during the American Revolution, hosting major battles and strategic decisions. It is a center of artistic innovation, giving rise to movements like the Harlem Renaissance and abstract expressionism. The state abolished slavery in 1827, playing a significant role in the Underground Railroad. New York's financial sector emerged as a global leader, with Wall Street shaping the modern economy. Its political history includes hosting the first U.S. Capitol in New York City under George Washington's presidency. The women's suffrage movement gained momentum in Seneca Falls, where the first convention was held in 1848. Cultural diversity defines New York, with communities from virtually every corner of the world contributing to its vibrancy. The state stands as a testament to resilience and progress, with a legacy that continues to inspire. Florida's history began with Native American tribes like the Seminole, who adapted to the state's unique environment. In 1513, Juan Ponce de Leon claimed Florida for Spain, making it one of the first European settlements in the U.S. Florida changed hands between Spain, Britain, and the U.S., reflecting its strategic importance in colonial times. The state became a refuge for escaped enslaved people and played a role in the Underground Railroad. Its multicultural identity includes strong influences from Spain, Cuba, and the Caribbean, shaping its distinct culture. Florida served as a major training ground during World War II, contributing to the Allied victory. The state is home to Cape Canaveral, where the U.S. launched its first manned space missions. Hurricanes have shaped Florida's history, fostering resilience and innovation in disaster preparedness. The state's rapid population growth reflects its appeal as a melting pot of diverse cultures and industries. Florida's dynamic history and cultural richness make it a fascinating part of the American story. Texas was an independent republic from 1836 to 1845 before becoming the 28th state of the United States. The state's history is deeply tied to its indigenous peoples, including the Comanche and Apache tribes. Texas is where the Mexican-American War began, shaping borders and international relations in the 19th century. It played a pivotal role in the Confederacy during the Civil War, leaving a lasting cultural impact. The state's oil boom in the early 20th century transformed it into a powerhouse of energy and industry. Texas has a unique cultural identity blending Mexican, German, and Anglo-American influences over centuries. The state's Lone Star symbolizes its spirit of independence and resilience, deeply rooted in its history. Texas has a strong tradition of ranching and cowboy culture, influencing American folklore and identity. The civil rights movement found momentum in Texas cities, breaking barriers in education and voting rights. Texas represents the expansive diversity and historical complexity of the American Southwest. Hawaii was an independent kingdom until its annexation by the United States in 1898, becoming a state in 1959. The islands were settled by Polynesians over 1,000 years ago, establishing a rich tradition of navigation and culture. Hawaii's monarchy was overthrown in 1893, marking a controversial chapter in its political history. The Hawaiian language and hula dance are vital parts of preserving the state's indigenous culture and identity. Hawaii served as a strategic military location during World War II, especially after the attack on Pearl Harbor. The state's unique location fosters a blend of Asian, Polynesian, and Western cultures, creating a dynamic society. Hawaii was the first U.S. state to legalize same-sex marriage, reflecting its progressive values. The island's volcanic origins have shaped not only their geography but also their mythology and traditions. Hawaii's aloha spirit emphasizes harmony, respect, and the importance of community in everyday life. As America's only island state, Hawaii offers a cultural and historical perspective unlike any other. Nevada became a state during the Civil War in 1864, earning the nickname Battle-Born. The state's silver mining boom in the 19th century significantly contributed to the U.S. economy. Nevada's early history includes Native American tribes like the Paiute, Shoshone, and Washoe. The legalization of gambling in 1931 reshaped Nevada into a global hub for entertainment and commerce. The state was a major site for atomic testing during the Cold War, influencing its modern identity. Nevada's sparse population in rural areas contrasts with the vibrant urban life in cities like Las Vegas and Reno. The Hoover Dam, built in the 1930s, symbolized America's engineering ambition and reshaped the region's economy. Nevada is a melting pot of cultures, drawing workers and residents from around the world over centuries. The state has a long tradition of rugged individualism, reflected in its political and cultural identity. Nevada exemplifies transformation, from its mining roots to its place as an entertainment and innovation hub. Illinois played a critical role in the westward expansion of the United States during the 19th century. The state is the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln, whose leadership shaped the nation during the Civil War. Illinois was a hub for the Underground Railroad, helping enslaved people escape to freedom. Chicago became a center for industrial innovation, attracting diverse immigrants and reshaping American urban life. The Great Chicago Fire of 1871 led to a wave of architectural innovation, making it a global design leader. Illinois is where the labor movement gained momentum, with the Haymarket Affair marking a turning point in workers' rights. The The state's rich cultural history includes the rise of blues and jazz in Chicago, shaping American music. Illinois is a leader in education and research, with universities contributing to advancements in science and technology. The state's diverse population reflects its history as a crossroads of migration and opportunity. Illinois stands as a testament to resilience and progress, influencing the nation in countless ways. Washington became a state in 1889, named after George Washington, the first U.S. president. The state's history includes the vibrant cultures of indigenous tribes such as the Coast Salish and Makah. Washington played a vital role in the timber and fishing industries, fueling the nation's early economy. The state was a key player in World War II, contributing through shipbuilding and aircraft manufacturing. Washington is the birthplace of the tech industry giants that shaped the modern digital world. The state's political history includes early environmental conservation efforts, protecting its forests and waterways. Labor movements in Washington, such as the Seattle General Strike of 1919, highlighted workers' rights struggles. The state's progressive policies reflect its commitment to equality, sustainability, and innovation. Washington's cultural diversity stems from waves of immigrants, including significant Asian American and Scandinavian communities. The state embodies a balance between natural beauty, industrial power, and cultural vibrancy. Massachusetts, one of the original 13 colonies, is known as the birthplace of the American Revolution. The Pilgrims landed in Plymouth in 1620, establishing one of the earliest European settlements in North America. The state was home to the Boston Tea Party, a pivotal event that fueled the fight for independence. Massachusetts is a hub of education, with Harvard University founded in 1636 as the oldest U.S. institution. The state was a leader in the abolitionist movement, producing activists like Frederick Douglass and William Lloyd Garrison. The Massachusetts Constitution of 1780 became a model for the U.S. Constitution, emphasizing individual rights. The Industrial Revolution began here, with textile mills in Lowell transforming manufacturing in the 19th century. Massachusetts has a history of progressive reforms, from universal health care to same-sex marriage legalization. The state's cultural diversity reflects centuries of immigration, contributing to its vibrant communities. Massachusetts continues to influence the nation with its blend of historical significance and modern innovation. Arizona, admitted to the Union in 1912, was the last of the contiguous states to gain statehood. The state's history is deeply tied to its Native American tribes, including the Navajo, Hopi, and Apache. Arizona was part of Mexico until 1848, when it became U.S. territory after the Mexican-American War. The state played a key role during World War II, hosting military training camps and internment camps. Arizona's mining history, particularly copper, shaped its economy and identity in the 19th and 20th centuries. The state is a leader in indigenous cultural preservation, with many tribal nations maintaining autonomy and traditions. Arizona's political landscape includes pivotal moments, such as its role in the civil rights movement. The state fosters innovation, with research in astronomy and renewable energy gaining prominence in recent years. Arizona's unique geography has influenced its communities, creating distinct desert cultures and practices. The state embodies resilience and diversity, balancing its ancient history with modern progress. Colorado joined the Union in 1876, earning the nickname, the Centennial State, during America's 100th birthday. The region's history includes indigenous tribes like the Ute, whose cultural influence remains significant. Colorado became a gold mining hub during the Pikes Peak Gold Rush, shaping its economic development. The state was a frontier for westward expansion, attracting settlers seeking opportunity in the rugged Rockies. Colorado has a history of progressive reforms, including early women's suffrage in 1893. The state played a pivotal role during World War II, hosting key military training facilities. Colorado is a leader in conservation, pioneering national parks and protecting its vast natural resources. The state's diverse communities reflect waves of migration, from miners to modern tech innovators. Colorado is home to some of the highest altitude settlements in the U.S., fostering unique mountain cultures. The state blends its frontier spirit with modern innovation, standing as a symbol of resilience and growth. Virginia, one of the original 13 colonies, is often called the Mother of Presidents, with 8 U.S. presidents born here. Jamestown, founded in 1607, was the first permanent English settlement in North America. Virginia played a central role in the American Revolution, with figures like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson leading the cause. The state was a key battleground during the Civil War, hosting more battles than any other state. Virginia's history includes the creation of the Virginia Declaration of Rights, a precursor to the U.S. Bill of Rights. The state's culture reflects a blend of Native American, English, and African influences over centuries. Virginia is home to historic institutions, including the College of William and Mary, founded in 1693. The state's government centers, including Richmond, were pivotal in shaping early American democracy. Virginia's communities value their historical roots, preserving landmarks and traditions for future generations. The state stands as a cornerstone of American history, blending its past with a forward-looking identity. New Jersey, one of the original 13 colonies, played a pivotal role during the American Revolution. The state hosted critical battles, including the crossing of the Delaware River by George Washington. New Jersey's Constitution, adopted in 1776, was one of the first to grant voting rights to women, later rescinded. The state became a hub for industrial innovation, with Thomas Edison's lab in Menlo Park transforming technology. New Jersey's strategic location fostered its role as a center for trade, connecting major East Coast cities. The state has a legacy of progressive movements, including its early role in labor union organization. New Jersey is one of the most diverse states, with communities from around the world enriching its culture. The state played a key role in developing the modern pharmaceutical industry, earning the nickname, "Medicine Chest of the World." New Jersey's public schools and universities are among the nation's leaders in education and research. The state combines historical importance, cultural diversity, and economic innovation, shaping its unique identity. Pennsylvania, one of the original 13 colonies, is known as the Keystone State for its central role in U.S. history. The Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were both signed in Philadelphia, marking historic milestones. Pennsylvania was home to the First Continental Congress, uniting the colonies during the American Revolution. The state's abolitionist movement was strong, with Pennsylvania being a key stop on the Underground Railroad. Gettysburg, the site of a major Civil War battle, became a turning point in the nation's fight for unity. Pennsylvania's coal and steel industries fueled the Industrial Revolution and shaped the U.S. economy. The state is known for its diverse communities, from the Amish preserving traditional lifestyles to vibrant urban centers. The Pennsylvania State Constitution of 1776 introduced progressive ideas that influenced other states and the nation. Pennsylvania continues to be a leader in education, with institutions like the University of Pennsylvania shaping innovation. The state's rich history and cultural diversity embody the spirit of American progress and resilience. Georgia, founded in 1733, was the last of the 13 original colonies and served as a buffer against Spanish Florida. The state played a major role in the Civil War, with Atlanta becoming a symbol of the South's resilience. Georgia was a hub for the civil rights movement, home to leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and pivotal protests. The state's diverse geography has shaped its communities, from the Appalachian Mountains to coastal marshlands. Georgia's history includes its unique founding as a colony for debtors, fostering a tradition of second chances. The state's population reflects its rich cultural heritage, blending African, European, and Native American influences. Georgia became a major center for the cotton industry, shaping its economy and society during the 19th century. The state's universities and research institutions contribute to advancements in agriculture, technology, and the arts. Georgia's festivals and cultural events celebrate its diversity, from rural traditions to urban innovation. The state's legacy as a cultural and historical leader continues to influence the nation. North Carolina, one of the original 13 colonies, was a leader in declaring independence from Britain in 1775. The state's early economy thrived on tobacco, textiles, and timber, earning it a place in American industry. North Carolina was the site of the first powered flight, achieved by the Wright brothers in 1903. The state played a critical role in the Civil War, contributing soldiers and resources to the Confederacy. North Carolina's Reconstruction history reflects the struggles and achievements of rebuilding after the war. The state's universities, including UNC, one of the nation's oldest public schools, emphasize education and innovation. North Carolina's political history includes milestones in desegregation and civil rights during the 20th century. The state's diverse communities reflect its mix of Native American, African American, and European influences. North Carolina has a rich artistic heritage, with folk crafts and music thriving across its regions. The state's legacy of resilience and progress makes it a cornerstone of American history and culture. Oregon's history is tied to the Oregon Trail, a vital route that brought settlers to the western frontier. The state was home to indigenous peoples like the Chinook and Nez Perce long before European settlers arrived. Oregon became a state in 1859, developing a reputation for innovation and environmental conservation. The state's history includes early fights for workers' rights, especially in the timber and fishing industries. Oregon was a leader in the women's suffrage movement, granting women the right to vote in 1912. The state's diverse population reflects waves of immigration, contributing to its rich cultural tapestry. Oregon's unique geography, from forests to volcanic peaks, has shaped its identity and history. The state has a tradition of progressive policies, including legalizing physician-assisted death and recreational cannabis. Oregon's communities value sustainability, making it a model for environmental activism in the U.S. The state embodies the pioneering spirit of the West, blending history, innovation, and natural beauty. Michigan became a state in 1837, playing a vital role in America's industrial and automotive history. The state was home to Native American tribes, including the Ojibwe and Potawatomi, who shaped its cultural roots. Michigan's Great Lakes provided essential trade routes, fostering early settlement and economic growth. Detroit, the state's largest city, became the birthplace of the automobile industry, transforming global transportation. Michigan was a key battleground during the labor movement, with Union victories improving workers' rights nationwide. The state's political history includes its significant role in the Underground Railroad during the abolitionist movement. Michigan's universities are leaders in research and innovation, particularly in renewable energy and technology. The state's geography, with its forests and freshwater resources, has fostered a tradition of environmental stewardship. Michigan's cultural diversity reflects the contributions of African American, European, and Middle Eastern communities. The state continues to balance its industrial legacy with a forward-looking approach to innovation and sustainability. Alaska, purchased from Russia in 1867, was called Seward's Folly before becoming a vital U.S. territory. The state's indigenous peoples, including the Inupiat and Tlingit, have preserved their traditions for thousands of years. Alaska became the 49th state in 1959, symbolizing America's expanding frontier. The state's remote location made it a key base during World War II for defending the Pacific. Alaska's economy was transformed by the discovery of oil at Prudhoe Bay in the 1960s. The state is home to nearly half of America's federally recognized native tribes, reflecting its rich cultural diversity. Alaska's geography and climate have shaped the lifestyle and resilience of its communities for generations. The Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act of 1971 returned millions of acres to indigenous control, preserving their heritage. The state's political history includes debates over resource extraction and environmental protection. Alaska remains a symbol of natural beauty, indigenous strength, and the adventurous spirit of America's frontier. Louisiana's history is deeply rooted in its French and Spanish colonial past, influencing its laws and culture. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the size of the U.S., marking a pivotal moment in American history. The state is home to a vibrant Creole and Cajun culture, blending African, French, and Native American influences. Louisiana's diverse music scene, particularly jazz, originated in the African American communities of New Orleans. The state's political history includes its Reconstruction-era struggles and role in the civil rights movement. Louisiana's wetlands have shaped its communities, fostering a unique relationship with its waterways and environment. The state's legal system is based on French civil law, differing from the common law used in other states. Louisiana's festivals celebrate its cultural diversity, reflecting centuries of tradition and resilience. Hurricanes have profoundly impacted Louisiana's history, testing the strength and unity of its people. The state remains a cultural crossroads, where history, music, and tradition converge. Tennessee became the 16th state in 1796, playing a significant role in America's westward expansion. The state is known as the birthplace of country music, which emerged from its Appalachian roots. Tennessee was pivotal in the Civil War, with battles that shaped the course of American history. The state's Reconstruction history reflects its struggles and achievements during a period of national rebuilding. Tennessee was home to 3 U.S. presidents: Andrew Jackson, James K. Polk, and Andrew Johnson. The state's Great Smoky Mountains are tied to Cherokee heritage, preserving stories and traditions of its people. Tennessee played a role in the civil rights movement, with Memphis being the site of Dr. King's final speech. The state's universities have contributed to advancements in research, education, and technology. Tennessee's culture is a blend of Appalachian, African American, and European influences. The state's history reflects resilience and creativity, shaping its unique identity within the U.S. Ohio, known as the Buckeye State, became the 17th state in 1803, playing a key role in U.S. history. The state was a critical stop on the Underground Railroad, helping enslaved people escape to freedom. Ohio's industrial cities, like Cleveland and Cincinnati, became centers of manufacturing during the Industrial Revolution. The Wright brothers, pioneers of flight, called Ohio home, cementing its legacy in innovation. Ohio has produced 8 U.S. presidents, earning it the nickname, Mother of Presidents. The state played a significant role in labor history, with strikes that shaped workers' rights nationwide. Ohio's cultural diversity includes German, Irish, and African American communities, reflecting waves of immigration. The state's geography, including the Ohio River, fostered early settlement and economic growth. Ohio continues to lead in education and research, with universities contributing to advancements in science and medicine. The state embodies resilience and progress, bridging its industrial past with a forward-looking future. Maryland, founded in 1634, was one of the original 13 colonies and a refuge for Catholic settlers. The state played a crucial role during the American Revolution, hosting the signing of the Articles of Confederation. Maryland's history includes its pivotal position during the Civil War, serving as a border state. The state is known as the birthplace of the national anthem, penned during the War of 1812. Maryland's economy was shaped by its Chesapeake Bay, fostering fishing, trade, and shipbuilding industries. The state's cultural diversity stems from waves of immigration, including African, German, and Irish communities. Maryland's political history includes significant contributions to civil rights and voting rights movements. The state's education system, including Johns Hopkins University, is recognized globally for its excellence. Maryland has a history of progressive environmental policies, protecting its waterways and natural resources. The state remains a symbol of unity and diversity, bridging its colonial past with modern innovation. Minnesota, admitted to the Union in 1858, is known as the "Land of 10,000 Lakes" for its vast waterways. The state's early history is deeply tied to its Native American tribes, including the Dakota and Ojibwe. Minnesota was a significant location for Scandinavian immigrants, shaping its cultural identity and traditions. The state played a pivotal role in the abolitionist movement, offering sanctuary to enslaved individuals escaping the South. Minnesota's labor history includes the Minneapolis Teamsters strike of 1934, a turning point for workers' rights. The state has a legacy of progressive politics, fostering programs in education, healthcare, and environmental protection. Minnesota is home to thriving arts communities, with roots in Scandinavian folklore and native traditions. The state's harsh winters have inspired a culture of resilience and innovation among its residents. Minnesota values community and equity, with many initiatives supporting social justice and inclusion. The state exemplifies the balance between historical preservation, cultural diversity, and modern progress. South Carolina was the first state to secede from the Union, sparking the American Civil War in 1860. The state played a major role in the Revolutionary War, hosting key battles that shaped the nation's independence. South Carolina's history is tied to agriculture, particularly rice and cotton, which shaped its economy and society. The state has deep African American roots, with the Gullah culture preserving traditions brought by enslaved Africans. South Carolina's political history includes its role in the civil rights movement, with events that advanced desegregation. The state's coastal location made it a hub for early trade, contributing to its historical prosperity. South Carolina's architecture reflects a blend of colonial, African, and antebellum influences. The state's traditions, such as sweetgrass basket weaving, highlight its cultural and historical richness. South Carolina celebrates its heritage through festivals and events that honor its diverse communities. The state's journey from conflict to progress reflects its enduring resilience and cultural pride. Indiana, admitted as the 19th state in 1816, played a key role in America's westward expansion. The state's history includes contributions to the Underground Railroad, helping enslaved individuals escape to freedom. Indiana's industrial cities, such as Indianapolis, became centers of manufacturing during the Industrial Revolution. The state was home to influential abolitionists and writers, such as Lew Wallace and James Whitcomb Riley. Indiana's Hoosier identity reflects a sense of community, resilience, and pride in its agricultural and industrial heritage. The state has a rich Native American history, with tribes like the Miami and Potawatomi shaping its early culture. Indiana's universities, including Purdue, have driven advancements in agriculture, engineering, and technology. The state's cultural diversity reflects waves of migration, from European settlers to African American communities. Indiana played a role in shaping labor rights, with strikes and movements advocating for workers' well-being. The state balances its agricultural roots with urban growth, showcasing its dynamic contributions to American history. Utah, admitted to the Union in 1896, was originally settled by Mormon pioneers seeking religious freedom in the 1840s. The state's history includes the Utah War, a conflict between Mormon settlers and the U.S. government in the 1850s. Utah is home to indigenous tribes, including the Ute, Paiute, and Navajo, who maintain vibrant cultural traditions. The state played a key role in the westward expansion of the United States, connecting territories through trade routes. Utah's political history reflects its balance between religious influences and progressive reforms in education and infrastructure. The state fostered innovation in irrigation and agriculture, transforming its arid landscapes into fertile farmlands. Utah's mining history, especially in silver and copper, shaped its economy and attracted waves of settlers. The state values its cultural heritage, preserving both pioneer and indigenous traditions in festivals and museums. Utah is recognized for its progressive environmental policies, protecting its unique landscapes and resources. The state exemplifies resilience and resourcefulness, balancing its historical identity with modern growth. Kentucky, known as the Bluegrass State, joined the Union in 1792 as the 15th state. The state's history includes early settlements along the Ohio River, serving as a gateway to the West. Kentucky was a border state during the Civil War, with divided loyalties shaping its political and cultural identity. The state's geography fostered agricultural prosperity, particularly in tobacco, corn, and horse breeding. Kentucky has a rich Native American history, with the Shawnee and Cherokee tribes shaping its early culture. The state was home to Abraham Lincoln and Jefferson Davis, leaders on opposite sides of the Civil War. Kentucky's labor history includes the coal mining industry, which played a pivotal role in its economic development. The state's Appalachian traditions, including music and crafts, highlight its cultural diversity and resilience. Kentucky's progressive education initiatives reflect its commitment to community and opportunity for future generations. The state blends its historical significance with modern innovation, creating a dynamic and enduring identity. Connecticut, one of the original 13 colonies, is known as the Constitution State for its influence on U.S. governance. The Fundamental Orders of 1638 to 1639 are considered the first written constitution in American history. Connecticut played a vital role in the American Revolution, providing supplies and troops to the Continental Army. The state became a hub for the Industrial Revolution, producing goods from textiles to firearms. Connecticut's political history includes its early abolitionist movement, advocating for the end of slavery. The state's Native American history is reflected in its name, derived from the Algonquin word, Quinnitukit. Connecticut is home to Yale University, established in 1701, fostering innovation and leadership for centuries. The state's maritime history includes shipbuilding and trade, vital to its economic development in colonial times. Connecticut's communities reflect a blend of historical preservation and modern growth, embracing cultural diversity. The state's legacy of leadership and innovation continues to shape its identity in the 21st century. Wisconsin, admitted to the Union in 1848, is known as the Badger State, symbolizing its hard-working miners. The state's Native American history includes the Ho-Chunk, Menominee, and Ojibwe tribes, whose traditions persist today. Wisconsin's agricultural history earned it the nickname, America's Dairyland, reflecting its pivotal role in farming. The state became a leader in the labor movement, with Milwaukee as a center for workers' rights advocacy. Wisconsin's progressive political history includes the Wisconsin Idea, linking education and government for public benefit. The state played a role in abolitionist efforts, serving as a stop on the Underground Railroad. Wisconsin's geography, with its lakes and forests, shaped the lifestyles of its early settlers and native peoples. The state values education and innovation, with the University of Wisconsin fostering groundbreaking research. Wisconsin's cultural diversity includes significant German and Scandinavian immigrant communities influencing its traditions. The state represents a balance of historical preservation, economic growth, and cultural resilience. New Mexico, known as the Land of Enchantment, became the 47th state in 1912, blending ancient and modern histories. The state has a rich Native American heritage, with 23 tribes, including the Navajo and Pueblo peoples. New Mexico was part of the Spanish Empire for over 200 years, influencing its language and traditions. The state's history includes its role as a vital trade route along the historic Santa Fe Trail. New Mexico became a central location for the Manhattan Project, contributing to the development of nuclear technology. The state's diverse cultural identity reflects Native American, Hispanic, and Anglo influences over centuries. New Mexico's landscape has inspired artists and writers, shaping the state's reputation as a cultural hub. The state is a leader in preserving indigenous languages and traditions through education and community programs. New Mexico's political history includes early adoption of progressive policies on land use and environmental conservation. The state remains a symbol of resilience and cultural richness, deeply rooted in its history and landscapes. Missouri, admitted as the 24th state in 1821, was central to the westward expansion of the United States. The Missouri Compromise highlighted the state's pivotal role in balancing free and slave states in the 19th century. Missouri played a critical role in the Civil War, with divided loyalties shaping its history and communities. The state's geography, with rivers like the Mississippi and Missouri, fostered trade and transportation development. Missouri's cultural diversity reflects its position as a crossroads of Native American, European, and African influences. The state was home to Harry S. Truman, the 33rd president, who shaped America's post-World War II policies. Missouri's labor history includes significant strikes and movements advocating for workers' rights during the industrial era. The state's traditions, including storytelling and folk music, highlight its rich Appalachian and Midwestern heritage. Missouri values education and innovation, with universities contributing to advancements in agriculture and technology. The state exemplifies resilience and diversity, blending historical significance with a forward-looking identity. Alabama, admitted as the 22nd state in 1819, played a central role in the Confederacy during the Civil War. The state's Native American history includes the Creek and Cherokee tribes, whose lands were impacted by westward expansion. Alabama was a pivotal battleground during the Civil Rights Movement, hosting events like the Montgomery bus boycott. The state's political history reflects its journey from segregation to progress in civil rights and equality. Alabama's industrial growth began in the 19th century, with steel production transforming cities like Birmingham. The state's Reconstruction history highlights the struggles and resilience of African Americans fighting for freedom. Alabama's labor history includes major contributions to agricultural advancements, particularly in cotton production. The state's cultural identity reflects its blend of Southern traditions, African American heritage, and modern innovation. Alabama has a legacy of education reform, fostering opportunities for future generations. The state's history of conflict and transformation makes it a cornerstone of American progress and resilience. Arkansas, admitted as the 25th state in 1836, was a frontier of exploration and settlement in the South. The state's name is derived from the Quapaw people, reflecting its deep Native American roots. Arkansas played a significant role during the Civil War, with battles shaping its history and identity. The state's economy historically depended on agriculture, particularly cotton, rice, and timber production. Arkansas was pivotal during the Civil Rights Movement, with the Little Rock Nine desegregating Central High School in 1957. The state's Ozark and Ouachita Mountains have influenced its cultural traditions, including folk music and storytelling. Arkansas has a rich political history, producing notable figures such as President Bill Clinton, a native of Hope. The state's industrial growth in the 20th century expanded its economy beyond agriculture to manufacturing and services. Arkansas is home to a mix of cultures, reflecting its position as a crossroads of Southern and Midwestern influences. The state balances its historical significance with ongoing efforts to foster education, innovation, and community growth. Iowa, admitted as the 29th state in 1846, is known as the Heartland of America for its agricultural heritage. The state's name comes from the Iowa people, reflecting its rich Native American history. Iowa played a critical role in the Underground Railroad, helping enslaved individuals escape to freedom. The state's fertile soil made it a center for farming, contributing significantly to the nation's food supply. Iowa's political significance is highlighted by its first-in-the-nation caucuses during presidential election cycles. The state was a leader in the women's suffrage movement, advocating for equal voting rights in the early 20th century. Iowa's labor history includes significant advancements in agricultural technology, transforming farming practices worldwide. The state values education, with its public universities fostering innovation in agriculture, engineering, and medicine. Iowa's communities reflect a blend of Scandinavian, German, and Native American cultural influences. The state exemplifies resilience and progress, embracing its history while advancing in technology and sustainability. Maine, admitted as the 23rd state in 1820, was part of the Missouri Compromise, balancing free and slave states. The state's name likely derives from the French province of Maine, reflecting its early colonial ties. Maine's indigenous history includes the Wabanaki Confederacy, whose traditions remain integral to its cultural identity. The state played a role in the American Revolution, with coastal towns resisting British naval forces. Maine's shipbuilding industry was crucial in the 19th century, supporting maritime trade and national defense. The state's forests have shaped its economy, particularly in the lumber and paper industries. Maine was a leader in the temperance movement, becoming the first state to ban alcohol in 1851. The state values environmental conservation, protecting its natural landscapes through progressive policies and initiatives. Maine's communities reflect a blend of French, English, and Native American heritage, creating a unique cultural identity. The state represents independence and resourcefulness, rooted in its rugged landscapes and storied history. Vermont, admitted as the 14th state in 1791, was the first state to join the Union after the original 13 colonies. The state was an independent republic from 1777 to 1791, with its own constitution outlawing slavery. Vermont's name comes from the French words, vert mont, meaning green mountain, reflecting its geography. The state's history includes its role in the abolitionist movement and its early stance against slavery. Vermont's economy was shaped by farming and logging, with its dairy industry becoming a national leader. The state values community and sustainability, reflected in its strong environmental conservation efforts. Vermont's political history includes early adoption of progressive policies, including same-sex marriage legalization in 2009. The state's cultural heritage reflects a blend of English, French, and indigenous influences. Vermont's small population fosters a sense of close-knit community, emphasizing local governance and mutual support. The state embodies independence, resilience, and innovation, making it a model for progressive values. Montana, admitted as the 41st state in 1889, is known as Big Sky Country for its vast open landscapes. The state's history includes indigenous tribes like the Blackfeet, Crow, and Salish, whose traditions remain vibrant today. Montana's economy was shaped by its mining industry, with gold, silver, and copper fueling its growth. The state played a role in the westward expansion, attracting settlers seeking land and opportunity. Montana's labor history includes significant mining strikes, advocating for better conditions and wages for workers. The state values environmental conservation, with efforts to protect its forests, rivers, and wildlife. Montana's culture reflects a blend of Native American, European settler, and frontier traditions. The state's geography, including the Rocky Mountains, has shaped its communities and industries for generations. Montana fosters education and research, particularly in environmental science and Native American studies. The state represents the spirit of the American West, balancing its historical roots with modern progress. Rhode Island, the smallest U.S. state, was founded in 1636 by Roger Williams as a haven for religious freedom. The state was the first of the original 13 colonies to declare independence from British rule in 1776. Rhode Island's early economy thrived on maritime trade, with its ports becoming centers of commerce. The Industrial Revolution began in the U.S. with the Slater Mill in Pawtucket, making Rhode Island a manufacturing hub. The state's political history includes its refusal to ratify the U.S. Constitution until the Bill of Rights was added. Rhode Island values cultural diversity, with communities reflecting Italian, Portuguese, and African American heritage. The state has a legacy of progressive policies, including its early abolition of slavery in 1774. Rhode Island's small size fosters a tight-knit sense of community among its residents. The state played a role in shaping labor rights, with workers organizing strikes during the industrial era. Rhode Island exemplifies innovation, resilience, and independence despite its modest geographic size. Delaware, known as the first state, was the first to ratify the U.S. Constitution in 1787. The state's early history includes its founding by Swedish settlers in 1638 as the New Sweden colony. Delaware played a significant role in the American Revolution, supplying troops and resources to the Continental Army. The state's economy flourished through shipbuilding, trade, and later, manufacturing during the Industrial Revolution. Delaware's Court of Chancery is a global leader in corporate law, attracting businesses from around the world. The state values its agricultural heritage, particularly in poultry farming, which remains a vital industry. Delaware's small size fosters a strong sense of local identity and community among its residents. The state's political history includes significant contributions to civil rights and equal voting initiatives. Delaware is home to historic sites that reflect its colonial, revolutionary, and industrial past. The state's unique blend of history, innovation, and community makes it a cornerstone of American identity. Kansas, admitted as the 34th state in 1861, played a pivotal role in the lead-up to the Civil War. The state was the epicenter of Bleeding Kansas, a violent conflict over whether Kansas would allow slavery. Kansas's agricultural history earned it the nickname, the Wheat State, reflecting its vast plains and fertile soil. The state's Native American history includes tribes like the Kansa, Osage, and Pawnee, who shaped its early culture. Kansas was an important stop on the Underground Railroad, aiding enslaved individuals in their journey to freedom. The state's history includes significant contributions to women's suffrage, granting women voting rights in municipal elections in 1887. Kansas has a legacy of resilience, rebuilding after natural disasters like tornadoes and droughts. The state values education, with its universities leading advancements in agriculture, engineering, and medicine. Kansas's communities reflect a blend of frontier spirit, native traditions, and immigrant influences. The state embodies progress and determination, honoring its historical roots while embracing modern innovation. Mississippi, admitted as the 20th state in 1817, has a history deeply tied to its role in the cotton economy. The state's name comes from the Ojibwe word, Mississippi, meaning Great River, reflecting its connection to the Mississippi River. Mississippi was a key location in the Civil War, serving as a battleground for significant conflicts. The state's Reconstruction history reflects its struggles and progress in the fight for civil rights. Mississippi played a central role in the civil rights movement, with pivotal events in Jackson and other cities. The state's culture is deeply influenced by African American traditions, particularly in music, literature, and storytelling. Mississippi values its agricultural heritage, with farming remaining a cornerstone of its economy. The state's communities reflect a mix of Southern hospitality and deep cultural traditions. Mississippi's literary legacy includes authors like William Faulkner and Eudora Welty, who captured its complex history. The state's journey from conflict to cultural richness highlights its resilience and transformation. North Dakota, admitted as the 39th state in 1889, is known for its vast prairies and rugged landscapes. The state's history includes Native American tribes like the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Lakota, who shaped its early culture. North Dakota became a hub for westward expansion, attracting settlers with the promise of fertile farmland. The state played a significant role in the Lewis and Clark expedition, offering a gateway to the western frontier. North Dakota's economy thrived on agriculture, particularly wheat and sunflower production, shaping its rural identity. The state values its indigenous heritage, with cultural events and programs preserving Native American traditions. North Dakota's history includes its role in the development of energy resources, particularly oil and natural gas. The state's communities reflect a mix of Scandinavian and German immigrant influences alongside native traditions. North Dakota values conservation, with efforts to protect its natural landscapes and wildlife. The state embodies the resilience and independence of America's heartland, blending history with progress. Nebraska, admitted as the 37th state in 1867, is known as the Cornhusker State for its agricultural heritage. The state's history includes its central role in the westward expansion, with pioneers traveling through the Oregon Trail. Nebraska was home to indigenous tribes such as the Omaha, Pawnee, and Sioux, who shaped its cultural foundations. The Homestead Act of 1862 brought settlers to Nebraska, transforming its plains into farmland. Nebraska's political innovation includes its unicameral legislature, the only one of its kind in the United States. The state values conservation, with efforts to preserve its grasslands and wildlife, vital to its ecosystem. Nebraska's communities reflect a mix of Native American traditions and European immigrant influences. The state's rural identity is complemented by cities like Omaha, which played a role in labor and civil rights history. Nebraska's geography, from rolling prairies to sandhills, has shaped its industries and cultural identity. The state embodies resilience and progress, honoring its pioneer spirit while embracing modern advancements. South Dakota, admitted as the 40th state in 1889, is known for its rich Native American heritage. The state is home to the Lakota Sioux, whose traditions and history remain integral to South Dakota's identity. The Black Hills, sacred to the Lakota, have been a center of cultural and spiritual significance for centuries. South Dakota played a role in westward expansion, with settlers drawn by promises of gold and land. The state's economy historically thrived on agriculture, particularly cattle ranching and wheat production. South Dakota's political history includes its advocacy for women's suffrage, granting women voting rights in 1918. The state values conservation, with efforts to protect its prairies, rivers, and wildlife for future generations. South Dakota's communities reflect a blend of native traditions and European immigrant influences. The state's cultural heritage is celebrated through festivals, art, and storytelling that honor its diverse history. South Dakota represents resilience and harmony, balancing its historical roots with modern development. Wyoming, admitted as the 44th state in 1890, is known as the Equality State for granting women the right to vote in 1869. The state's indigenous history includes tribes like the Shoshone, Arapaho, and Crow, whose legacies endure today. Wyoming's economy was shaped by ranching, mining, and energy production, defining its frontier identity. The state's vast open landscapes have inspired a culture of independence and self-reliance among its residents. Wyoming played a role in the westward expansion, serving as a key stop along historic migration routes. The state's political history reflects its commitment to equality and environmental conservation. Wyoming values its natural heritage, with efforts to protect its prairies, mountains, and wildlife. The state's small population fosters a sense of close-knit community and mutual support. Wyoming's rich cultural diversity includes native traditions and the stories of pioneers who shaped its development. The state represents the spirit of the American West, balancing history with modern innovation. Idaho, admitted as the 43rd state in 1890, is known for its rugged landscapes and agricultural contributions. The state's name comes from a Native American word meaning gem of the mountains, reflecting its natural beauty. Idaho's early history includes tribes like the Nez Perce, whose traditions continue to shape the state's culture. The state played a significant role in westward expansion, attracting settlers with its fertile farmland and resources. Idaho's mining industry, particularly in silver, transformed its economy during the 19th century. The state values conservation, preserving its rivers, forests, and wilderness areas for future generations. Idaho's communities reflect a blend of native traditions and immigrant influences, particularly from Basque settlers. The state's labor history includes contributions to agriculture and mining, highlighting the resilience of its workers. Idaho's geography has shaped its industries and identity, fostering innovation in farming and energy. The state exemplifies the pioneering spirit, balancing its historical roots with modern progress. Oklahoma, admitted as the 46th state in 1907, has a history deeply tied to its Native American heritage. The state was originally designated as Indian Territory, home to displaced tribes like the Cherokee and Choctaw. Oklahoma's economy was transformed by the discovery of oil, earning it the nickname, Black Gold State. The state played a significant role in labor history, particularly in the oil and agricultural industries. Oklahoma's history includes the tragic events of the Dust Bowl during the Great Depression, testing its resilience. The state is home to vibrant Native American communities, preserving languages, traditions, and cultural practices. Oklahoma's political history reflects its commitment to education and social progress. The state's geography, from prairies to mountains, has shaped its industries and cultural identity. Oklahoma celebrates its diverse heritage through festivals and events that honor its native and pioneer roots. The state embodies perseverance and cultural richness, bridging its past with a forward-looking vision. West Virginia, admitted as the 35th state in 1863, was formed during the Civil War, breaking from Virginia. The state is known for its rugged Appalachian Mountains, which shaped its culture and economy. West Virginia has a rich history of coal mining, becoming a cornerstone of the nation's industrial growth. The state played a key role in the labor movement, including the Battle of Blair Mountain in 1921. West Virginia's communities reflect Appalachian traditions, including folk music, storytelling, and crafts. The state values education, with institutions like West Virginia University driving advancements in energy and technology. West Virginia's political history includes its efforts to balance environmental concerns with its reliance on coal. The state's cultural heritage celebrates resilience, with festivals honoring its Appalachian and immigrant communities. West Virginia has a legacy of resourcefulness, with industries adapting to meet the challenges of the modern era. The state remains a symbol of independence and perseverance, embracing its history while evolving for the future. New Hampshire, one of the original 13 colonies, played a pivotal role in the American Revolution. The state was the first to create its own constitution and declare independence from British rule in 1776. New Hampshire's name reflects its ties to Hampshire, England, highlighting its colonial origins. The state's economy historically thrived on farming, timber, and shipbuilding, shaping its early communities. New Hampshire values its political independence, holding the first in the nation presidential primary since 1920. The state played a role in the abolitionist movement, advocating for freedom and equality before the Civil War. New Hampshire's cultural heritage reflects a blend of Native American, English, and French influences. The state is committed to preserving its natural landscapes, fostering a strong tradition of environmental stewardship. New Hampshire's small towns and close-knit communities emphasize local governance and mutual support. The state embodies resilience and independence, balancing its historical roots with modern innovation. Thank you for watching until the end, and I look forward to seeing you on the next journey.